Good evening, all. We are going. Yeah, good evening. We are going through the basic theoretical part of SAP. So we are covering different topics. So out of that, we have already. So we have already discussed about what is basic, what is SAP, what are the different ERP products, history of SAP, ECC, R3 comparison, what are different SAP roles. Then we have seen the difference between HANA, S4 HANA, and like Fiori, which is a presentation layer. So we have tried and understood about the uh, presentation layer, application layer, database layer, which is called as R3 hardware architecture. Also, we have tried to understand about the uh, ERP and non-ERP difference. SAP has gone through different releases with so many years that we have understood. SAP modules, which are technical functional. Then we have understood about the R3 hardware architecture, pre-project activity that we discussed about, and then we also discussed about the development quality and production, which is called as a landscape architecture that we have discussed yesterday. Also, we have seen the deployment options that are available, in which we have understood about the on-premise and in cloud. We have private cloud and public cloud and hybrid, which are available as the options, and then different type of project in SAP that are available. We have understood them, and also we have gone through the SAP modules. So is there any doubt, anyone, about any of the topic that we have gone through till now? Everyone is clear about the all what the discussion we have, right? Okay, great. So now I'm trying to go to the next topic, which are called as the approaches of the project. Okay, so when we talk about the S4 HANA, so when we are doing some kind of a project in S4 HANA and we are trying to do it as a project, so there are some options which are available for us to work on the project. So those are called as the approaches of the project. So these are not types like whether it is implementation or support. It is not about the uh, types of project. It is which approach in SAP S4HANA is suitable for you. That is what we are going to try and understand about these one. Okay. So the major. Anything in chat? Okay. Abhishek is rejoining. Fine. Okay. So with these approaches now, when we try and understand about the approaches of the project, so mainly there are two approaches that are available for S4 HANA project. It is called as Greenfield approach and the Brownfield approach. So purposefully, I have used these colors to highlight about different approaches of the project. So it is kind of differentiation, we can say, but not exactly the opposite points to each other are being mentioned over here. But we are trying to understand in detail, like what is a greenfield and what is a brownfield approach means. Now, when we say greenfield, it is called as a new implementation project in SAP S4 HANA, which is also called as a greenfield migration. It enables complete re-engineering and process simplification. So when we are going for the SAP S4 HANA and SAP we are trying to implement it as a new project. So with a new project in which my client is going to switch or going to shift from legacy to SAP. Now we know the word legacy means any earlier system that your client is using before SAP. It's called as a greenfield approach. That is a it's called as legacy system. And when we say implementation project, it means that your client is going to shift from old system to new SAP as a new system. So such type of a project, we are calling it as a new project in SAP for the implementation. So when we call a greenfield, a new implementation of SAP S4 HANA project is called as usually a greenfield project. or greenfield migration or approach. Okay, so as the word itself say greenfield, when we say something which is a new thing with a new approach, it is called as a greenfield approach. Okay, whereas when we say brownfield, brownfield is nothing but the system conversion. So here in brownfield, we know that my client is already using SAP as a system since many years. So for my client, in brownfield approach, if they are going for a brownfield approach, it means that in legacy they are already using SAP as a system. They are using SAP ECC or R3 as an old system, and now they are wishing to shift from that old legacy of SAP, that is an old SAP system, to the new SAP system, SAP S4HANA. So when we talk about such type of a approach, it is called as system conversion, which is also known as a brownfield approach. It enable you to migrate to SAP S4HANA without re-implementation and without disruption, means disturbance of the existing business processes. So this brownfield approach allow you to take or consider the old data, and as well as you can use the old data into the new system, which is called as SAP S4HANA. So in brownfield approach, you are assuming, or you know that your client is already using SAP. No other legacy was used by a client, then it is called as a brownfield approach. And let's say my client is using some legacy and now they wish to implement SAP as a new system, then it is called as a greenfield approach. Then in the greenfield approach lets or allows the organizations predefine migration object and best practices. So SAP has provided us with the setup of best practices. Now when we say best practices, they are the standard processes or the scenarios which are available in SAP, and those are provided to you by SAP, in which they have mentioned flow chart, the diagrams, the process, like in SAP, how and which steps to be followed, what is going to be the configuration, what is end user activity. Each and every aspect of SAP related business process is mentioned in the best practices. So the greenfield allows the organizations predefined migration object, means already they have decided to move to SAP as a system. Then with the help of these best practices, if they are trying to use, it lowers the time, that is the time or the limit, the number of days it is going to take for you, what we can say, the number of days or the time that you are going to require for completion of the project, that will also get lowered. And also TCO, that is total cost of the ownership of the project, right? So the costing also will be getting reduced, and also it facilitates you to have the faster adoption of the innovation, as the basic scenarios and many processes are readily available with the best practices. So if you try to use them readily available one, and if they are suitable for your business, then it will faster the adoption of these new innovations. So it is an approach about the greenfield project. But same when it comes to the brownfield, at the same time, it enables re-evaluation of the customization and existing process flow. So whatever existing processes are available with you, and the customization, the programs that you have developed, which are already available in your current ECC or old system. So it is time for you to re-evaluate. So brownfield allow you to re-evaluate the current processes and customization, whereas in this you are trying to adopt it with a new setup altogether. So these 2 points about greenfield. So we discussed in so by assumption that my client is using some legacy system and now they are wishing to switch to SAP S4 HANA as a new system. That is why we are calling it as a greenfield approach. Now in third point, little bit different, we are going to discuss about greenfield approaches. In this third point of the greenfield, my client is using greenfield approach for the same client who is using ECC since many years. So here we are assuming that for a greenfield approach, I have a client who is already using SAP since many years. Let's say SAP, they have started using it around from the year, let's say 2002 or 2003. So they are using very old version of SAP. Okay, and now still now they have not yet updated themselves to SAP S4HANA. So still they are using ECC or the old version of SAP. So this greenfield approach, if they are going ahead with a greenfield approach, it is really called as a reset button. So in like when we were small, we use a slate, right? If you remember, to write something, you can clean the slate and rewrite it. So like wiping a slate clean. So same with the same approach, if you are trying to go ahead with a greenfield approach for the client who already are using existing ECC or old SAP, but for them, if you are trying to clean up their server, old server, like a slate we used to clean. So you have to clean up means you are going to reset, you are going to use it with a approach of reset button. So when we say reset means you are going to restart something. So when we try to talk about this transition, a transition using such type of a greenfield approach will be considered as a complete re-engineering of a current business SAP process and workflow. Means already any customization that you have done on SAP ECC 6 will completely be wiped away during the greenfield implementation. So when I'm saying the word greenfield implementation, it doesn't mean that you are going to delete the data of the old server. So when, if you get confused with this term, so I'm trying to clarify that all the data or customization that you have done on ECC 6 will completely wiped away. That doesn't mean that you are going to wipe it away. For SAP S4HANA, you anyway have to take a new server because ECC was having a different database. So we cannot use same database for S4HANA project. For S4HANA project, you need a separate server, a separate database, which is a HANA database. And based on that, you have to do the configuration. So when we try to talk about the deletion of any of the or completely wiped away of the old data, which means you are not at all going to bring anything from the old system to the new system. Everything you will be doing it as if you are doing a fresh project and you are going to start it from scratch. So you will literally be doing the configuration from start, like defining the company, trying to create the enterprise structure, chart of account, receivable payable processes, asset, taxes, every setup you will try and create on your own as if it is a new project. So you will not bring anything from the old server to the new server. That is what it is called as a greenfield approach. Even if company is using a new old ECC or old system of SAP itself, still they don't want to continue with their current system to proceed with a copy of the data to the new greenfield. Why it is the case? Of course, when we are trying to do it, certainly has its own advantages and disadvantages. A legacy organization that has been using SAP for such a long time, and they have accumulated lot of complicated workflow and heavily customized code. So they might have created new Z programs. They have done some complicated workflows. They have created some configurations in addition to what SAP has provided to them. So they have created their own tables, their own configuration based on the requirement to fulfill, which is not available in current version of SAP. So they have already occupied with each and every Z data. Z means the one which is not standard. They are already completed the setup with the complicated processes and scenarios in old version. Then a greenfield approach might be a fresh start that needed to overhaul its use of SAP and also reduce the complexities. So instead of using that complex old system in which already system is taking too much time to get the results on my screen, when I'm trying to execute some Z report, the logic is not written in a proper way, so the report performance is very slow. When it try to call some data from the table, the system is failing over there, so the logic is not working properly. Even if I have done the correct configuration, still due to some mismatch of the data, the particular result I'm expecting, I'm not getting those results. So we are facing such type of a problems which proves or which show me that the system is already performing very low, or already it has a very less chance to survive. So in such a way, the new approach which tells you about the greenfield, it allows the organization to start it as if you are working on a fresh system or a fresh start, we can say. Okay. So when you have already occupied with a complicated workflow and heavily customized code, a greenfield approach might be considered as a fresh start to use SAP and reduce the complexities. This is a movement. This is what we call it as a back to standard movement. So instead of working and using Z transaction, now why they have created Z transactions or Z developments or report development? Because when they were using old SAP, at that time might be some of these are not available. Okay. So as those changes were not available in standard old SAP, so they have created it as a Z development or Z program. But now SAP came up with many improvements, many new things are already added in a standard setup. So might be what they are using it as a Z development. Now might be it is readily available in SAP as a standard program. So now let's go back to the standard is a moment when you decide to go ahead with a greenfield project, even though your organization is using SAP as a SAP ECC or old system since many years. Okay, so it is that is what it is called as back to standard movement among SAP customer. It is all about, and also the greenfield is anyway it is perfect for the companies who are new to SAP, and if they are trying to move their data from non-SAP system to SAP, then obviously we have to go for a greenfield approach. But even if you are doing SAP you are using SAP as a old system, and you are trying to go ahead with the what we can say approach that you want to change everything from scratch, then even if you are using ECC, still you can opt for the greenfield approach of the project. So are you clear with this approach, greenfield approach? I mean, by both way, if the project is considered as a new project where there is a non-SAP system, and even if the SAP is already there with your client as a legacy, still because of the complications in the system, we are going to opt greenfield as a fresh start for my client. Okay. So both these approaches are considered under the greenfield. Now, with consideration of you to go ahead with a brownfield approach, whereas you all can read it properly now, or you want me to increase the font? Is it properly visible?
It's visible for me, no issue.
Okay, fine. Okay, so whereas the greenfield is a complete overall, means complete overall is a word which tells you like it is complete a kind of change from scratch. Everything has been changed when it comes to greenfield. When we consider that greenfield is going to be considered as a complete change from scratch, but if you consider the brownfield approach, it is more like an upgrade or renovation of your current SAP ERP system. So if you are opting for the brownfield approach, in which my client is already, see, brownfield means we are knowing that my client legacy was ECC or earlier versions of SAP R3, and now they are wishing to shift from old version to the latest, that is SAP S4 HANA. So in brownfield, we are sure about the legacy. So by using such type of a legacy, a brownfield approach is more like an upgrade or renovation for your current ERP. You can get SAP S4 HANA up and running while also migrating your existing SAP workflow and system over to the newest version of SAP. So you are using SAP since many years, and you know that some of the part of the configuration is already that you are using is working properly. Also, some Z programs that you have created, they are also giving you the proper result. So you are already aware of that customization and the programs or the workflows that you have created, they are working fine. Then you can bring those data which are working fine to SAP new system, that is SAP S4 HANA. And the one which you find that they are not working fine, or you don't need them anymore, or there are some certain data which it was there in with you in ECC, but you have not used it since long time, many months, many years, then don't bring that data in SAP S/4HANA system. So you can keep your tried and true business processes along with the customization that you have been using to manage your old data. Yet you do not have to bring everything over. So Brownfield allows the user to reevaluate and edit their existing processes, and port over means bring over only those one which are working fine. So Brownfield allow you to consider that how much data you want to copy or bring from the old version to the new version of SAP. Okay, so when we try to talk about the Brownfield approach, it is not that you are going to again do the configuration from the current setup of server. You can copy it from server to server. Okay, and normally the master data which are available like customers, vendors, or GL, we try to upload them through the ready-made upload tools called as DMC, data migration update tools, which are there. So it is a time for you to clean up your master data as well. So the master data which is not required anymore, those vendors, those customers with whom you are not doing transactions since many years, so don't bring those data to SAP. So you can actually create the master data, and then the trial balance or the closing balance from old uh, ECC system can be uploaded into SAP with your trial balance as a new opening balance in a new server. So the old ECC closing balance will now be uploaded into SAP as a opening balance for performing further transactions into SAP. This is how the Brownfield project works. So when we talk about the Brownfield, on paper, the Brownfield approach is both cheapest and fastest implementation strategy, and it also is also less riskier than the Greenfield, because you already have a proper stable and set system in place. So you can bring over many things, so it will reduce the cost also. So it will be cheaper because you already have many things in place. So it will reduce the timeline. It will allow you to fast complete with your remaining part of our implementation, and then you can start as much as early you can possible for you. You can start using new SAP S/4HANA system. Okay, so are you clear about these two approaches, Brownfield and Greenfield, considering these points? Okay, now theoretical. Okay, so theoretically now you can have a core element of SAP S/4HANA up and working in about 3 months. Means you can complete, they say that you can complete the SAP S/4HANA Greenfield project within 3 months. But how come? 3 months is a very less period for a company, if it is a big company, already you have many complicated processes and everything, then 3 months is a very lesser time, but you can go live within three months. How they are considering it like, but migrating all the data might be onto a blank system may take some more time. Like configuration might be you can copy with the current setup of your organization, that sorry not organization, the current setup that which is already available with you. So with best practices which SAP has provided to you as a standard company scenarios, so if they are suitable for you, you can copy them or you can use them as it is. But might be still you have to upload your customers, vendors, the trial balance, that is opening balance. That might take some more time. What is more definitely riskier than a different implementation strategy. You also need to redevelop any necessary system customizations critical to the business which are previously running on another version of SAP. Again, it can be a significant time sink. So if you are doing Greenfield as a new project, but even if you are using already SAP, then to bring all that data from the old version to SAP new version as a Greenfield, when you are doing it from scratch, again it may take some more time for you. So it is not sure that you can complete, but we can say that if everything is readily available with you, within 3 months you can might be able to complete the greenfield project. Whereas if you consider the brownfield, it is not without its downfalls. Since you are essentially porting over everything from your old SAP operating system or old SAP ECC, it's often seen as an innovation block. See, is it the new server of SAP, which is SAP S4 HANA? So if the project will be successful or failure in in the new server, will it be going to be dependent on the new server? No. New server is blank server. So it is already the settled one because it's a new with a blank data. The server, whether it will be the project of brownfield will be successful or not, that never depends, or that doesn't depends upon your new server. It always have a it often seen as an innovation block. The success of the implementation, we can say leaves or dies, means whether it is successful or not, it all depends upon how well your current workflow and systems are replicated. So how smoothly your current ECC system is working, or R3, with that particular approach, the new project, whether it will go smoothly and faster way or not, that depends upon how comfortable and stable current ECC system you have. So it doesn't depend upon the new server. This does not give a lot of room for examining how to cut through the complexities and poor workflow of your current processes. So because you might have some things which are complicated, they are created and they are already being not working properly. So whether to bring them or not, is a big decision. So based on all these complexities and decision making, SAP suggests you, because all of these complexities that come with the porting over of customization and workflow, brownfield implementation is best to be done on premise. So when we say it is best to be done on premise, means SAP suggests that if you are wishing to use SAP as a new system in S4 HANA, and you were already stable and working with old server, that is ECC server. So when we say on-premise, means it's again a server. So server to server, if you are trying to shift, that will be more beneficial for you if you are choosing or going with a brownfield approach. So brownfield is best for the customers who are looking to continue using their current solutions and rapidly also to convert from ECC to SAP S4 HANA as a new project. Okay, so are you clear with these two approaches? Any doubt? Any one of you have? Abhishek, yesterday you were asking like for
Yes, ma'am.
the brownfield, like how we copy the data, or if we have a new server, then how?
He was asking about the migration and the configuration.
Correct. So now are you clear with this, with the help of this brownfield?
Yes.
Clear? Okay. Any other doubt any one of you have? Okay. So now let's try and read about the options which are available for us for the project approach regarding SAP S4 HANA. So we have three approaches actually: brownfield, greenfield, and bluefield. So first we have covered brownfield and greenfield. I will let you know about bluefield as well. But let's now try and focus on the greenfield and brownfield approach. Okay. So this will help you to take an informed decision for migration. First, we need to understand what these approaches actually means and where these terms are basically borrowed or taken from. Now, when we say the term, first let's refer to the greenfield. So when we say the greenfield refers to the undeveloped land. So when we say greenfield is the originally word which is related to the land, So when we say a undeveloped land, which symbolizes a fresh start. So whenever we are using greenfield, so automatically here we are trying to tell about the fresh, or it symbolizes the fresh start. In Greenfield migration, you are essentially starting from scratch, everything as a new. This strategy involves implementing a completely new system and gradually migrating the data from the old system to the new one. So advantage here is that you can redesign your processes to be more efficient and streamlined, which will be uh, uh, like we can say they are getting streamlined by previous configuration that you have already done. Based on the same, you can have a more efficient and streamlined processes that you can get in SAP S4HANA with a greenfield approach. This approach can be more time consuming and may require more resources as you are building a new system from the ground level. So when we talk about the greenfield is a keen start of a blank canvas. So it is kind of a blank system on which you are starting it as a fresh one. It involves the implementation of complete new SAP system of SAP S4HANA and gradually migrating the data from old to new one. So this gives you the freedom to redefine your business processes and system from the ground up, as we discussed. So what are the benefits or advantages? The primary advantage of greenfield approach is this is an opportunity for you to complete system overall, complete re-engineering, completely change of a system that it allow you to do or go ahead with. It means that you can streamline and optimize the business process without being constrained by the existing configuration. So you are free to do each and everything from scratch and design it as per your own choice. It also allows the implementation of SAP best practices, which leads to the increased efficiency and effectiveness. So best practices, as they are readily available by SAP, so you can use them and it can be effectively effectively going to give you the increased efficiency. Additionally, the greenfield approach gives you the chance to clean your data before migration. This is a valuable opportunity to eliminate or to reduce or deduct or don't bring the data which is outdated and redundant. That is the data which is not being needed anymore to be bring to the new system because we are not going to use it. So this can significantly enhance the system performance and data quality. So you'll be getting a good quality data. So these are the benefits of greenfield. Then what are the challenges? In greenfield, it comes with its own challenges. It can be more time consuming and resource incentive since you are essentially building a new system. So this can take a longer time of a project timeline and higher cost. If you need any specific expertise, if you are doing any specific kind of a module or any advanced things that you are trying to use, then might be you have to bear more cost, and also it is going to take a more time because you are extensively trying to do the customization based on your new requirement. Another downside is a learning curve for the user. With a new system, potentially new processes in place, training and change management can be a critical. So my client is already using, let's say, another software that is a legacy, and now we need to train them about SAP as a new system. So training, again, see, this is not a block. I mean, we cannot say it has a disadvantage, but of course, to work on a new system from end user point of view, to work on a new system and to adopt and accept those changes and to then get stable, it is going to be again a time consuming process. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of the greenfield project. Now let's understand brownfield. When we say brownfield, the brownfield migration strategy, it is also known as the conversion or upgrade. So we are trying to convert from the current version of SAP to the newer version, that is from SAP SC. We have two types of project. If you have understood about the types of project we have gone through, there are two types. One is upgrade project and we are having conversion project. So brownfield is a conversion project where customer want to upgrade from R3 or ECC to the new version of HANA. And when we say upgrade project, means my client is already using HANA itself, but the old version, and now they wish to switch to latest version of HANA. So the server itself is going to remain with the HANA database only. Then that project is called as upgrade project. And when we are doing brownfield, it is a conversion of your old SAP R3 or ECC to SAP S4 HANA. Okay, so business is trying to upgrade, upgrade means conversion. We are trying to do with the existing SAP system to SAP S4 HANA as a new system, while preserving most of the existing data and configuration. So it's a keen to renovating of an old building. So if you are trying to renovate the old building, already the setup is ready, structure is ready, and you are trying to make some improvements. That is how the brownfield approach works. And originally the brownfield as a term, it refers to the land which has already been developed. So it was developed previously, and already developed land which was there, again you are trying to redevelop the same land. That is what the brownfield usually means. Greenfield means what? It is a fresh land given to you which was unused, and brownfield is usually the word which is related to land in which already there was something done as a development and we are trying to redevelop that land. So it describes the approach where you want to upgrade your existing system to S4 HANA while retaining or keeping most of the existing data and configuration, and you are trying to build the existing system much like developing the previously owned land. The advantage of this approach is you can leverage your current investment, including the customization, and it may also carry forward it may carry forward, if you are not properly looking at it, it may carry forward the inefficiencies or issues which are present in your current system can also get carry forwarded if you do not copy the proper data from the existing server to the new server in brownfield approach. So what are the benefits of brownfield? See, in brownfield, the one advantage of brownfield is that it allows for the minimum disturbance of your ongoing business operations. So already you have a stable system. Since most of the existing data is configured and written, users are already familiar with the data, the term and everything. They are already very much used to with it, with the system structure and process. So this reduces the learning curve. Again, you do not have to train them about everything. Only new things which are available in S4, only for those you need to give the training to the users. Furthermore, it leverages the current investment, including customized processes of data. It can be a cost-effective solution for a business with highly customized SAP system. So this approach also tend to the faster one than greenfield, as it avoids the time-consuming processes for building a new system from scratch. Okay, so these are the benefits. What are the challenges? Brownfield is also not without the challenges, since it carry forward the existing configuration and data. As we mentioned just now, that some inefficient or outdated practices or the issues which are present in your current system can also be carry forwarded or transferred to the new system if you are not paying proper attention the data which need to be carry forwarded. Again, this could potentially limit the performance of a new system. Means, see, SAP S4 HANA is a faster system, but if you bring something with a problematic one in a logic, then even though the system itself is a faster, but logic is making it slow. So again, you are going to get the performance issue even in SAP S4 HANA system. Additionally, brownfield approach might not be suitable for the businesses who want to rethink their business processes, or who are not, or those that are working without outdated, then require a substantial change. So if they need a proper change in the old setup altogether, then might be brownfield is not suitable for them. Then even though you are using ECC version of SAP old one, still you can think of then it as a greenfield approach project to be done. So I hope you are clear with advantages, disadvantages, and what are exactly brownfield and greenfield approach means. Is there any doubt any one of you have? Here? Okay. Fine. So now we are going to talk about the Bluefield approach. So Bluefield is comparatively a new approach. The Bluefield approach is relatively a new term in the field of SAP migration. It aims to take both best of Brownfield and Greenfield. So Bluefield allow for the selective data transition, which means you have a freedom to decide which data and processes you want to migrate and which rather you want to leave behind. So the data which you want to bring to the new system, that you have a freedom to decide about it. This strategy offers flexible and efficiency, enabling you to keep the valuable configuration and data while discard any outdated or unnecessary elements that you have in your existing system. However, it requires a skillful and careful planning for the execution to ensure a seamless transition. Okay, so the Bluefield approach relatively a new player in the field of SAP. It seeks a combination of both Brownfield as well as Greenfield with a selective data transition. And with this approach, you have a freedom to decide which one you want to migrate and which one you don't want. Okay, so you will find that, or many of you might think that, then what is the difference between Bluefield and the Brownfield? Because in Brownfield also, what we are doing, whatever is working fine, only we are trying to bring those one, right? And the one which is not working, we are already keeping them as it is, correct? But in Brownfield approach, you bring over most of the data. So we can say that almost if you have a 60-70% of the data, if it is okay or good, then you will bring almost 60-70-80% of the data from the old system to the new system. Whereas in Bluefield approach, almost you can might be bring over 40-50% as the old setup, and half of the data almost we can say that you are creating it as a setup from scratch, means a new setup. That is the difference between Bluefield and Brownfield approach. So what is the benefit of Bluefield approach? The primary advantage or a benefit of the Bluefield is the flexibility. So it allows you to keep the valuable configuration and data. So valuable or the one which are working fine, it allow you to keep, and at the same time it allow you, or it is helpful for you to discard or remove any outdated or unnecessary elements, which is a beneficial for you. So this could be beneficial if you have some processes which are working well and others which you need to rethink. Don't bring those one that you can take a decision of. The Bluefield strategy also offer a faster migration. It provides the opportunity to start afresh wherever needed, and also leverage the existing investment also. So existing one also you can bring, and new also you can prepare. You won't need to completely rebuild everything. Already the one which are working fine or functioning well, you can bring, and it will save your time and resources. But then what are the challenges? Bluefield requires a very careful planning and execution to ensure the smooth transition. You will need to be very much careful for evaluating the processes and data, which one to keep and which one you don't want to bring. So, which that again could be the complex and time consuming task or decision. Because it is a new approach, the resources are very few available in market for the Bluefield approach. Means we are talking about the expertise. Like the decision by looking at the system, they will help you to take the decision that whether to bring this data to the new system or not is depending upon what current processes and how faster the current system is working or not. But to have a proper knowledge of a system, there are very few resources which are available to with a proper knowledge. I mean, exactly to tell you about which one to bring and which one not to bring. There might be few resources, case studies, and expertise available compared to the more established Greenfield and Brownfield strategy. So it could again make the planning and execution more challenging about the Bluefield approach. Okay, so there are projects with Bluefield approach as well, but compared to Greenfield and Brownfield, they are very less in numbers. Okay, so are you clear with these approaches now? Greenfield, Brownfield, and Bluefield. It's like kind of, it is not a type of project whether you want to go for the implementation or conversion. See, implementation means what? Greenfield, where you are going to design SAP as a new system, might be even if my client is using ECC, or even if my client is using old system or different software, still implementation means a kind of greenfield project. And conversion means you are trying to upgrade from R3 or ECC old version to the latest S4 HANA version. So it is called as a brownfield project. But these are kind of a type of project. But which one to opt? What these approaches help you? They help you to decide which one is more suitable for you, whether the greenfield approach is suitable for you or brownfield is suitable for you. And even if you have a stable system and you are okay with all the data, everything which is working fine in the existing system, but you still want to go ahead with a new database S4 HANA, then brownfield is more suitable. But you already have a very complicated system and the one which is not working fine since many years and many complicated things are being done in old system, then go with a greenfield approach. So you can start it as a fresh system and it will give you the opportunity to decide and use the latest available version of SAP to be used. So it is kind of a back to standard movement. So wherever needed, only those Z developments you need to perform. Otherwise, the standard which is already being provided by SAP as a basic standard setup, then you are able to freely use the standard SAP itself instead of Z1. That is the opportunity for you to decide whether it is a greenfield approach you wish to go ahead with or the brownfield approach. Okay, clear everyone? Any doubt or any point you wish to discuss about these or any earlier topic? Clear everyone? Abhishek, Suresh, Fatima, Satish, Venkatesh. Are you clear with all the all the discussion that we have done right now?
Yes, Deepthi, clear from my end.
Okay. I think everything is okay with whatever we have covered till now. Okay, fine. If you are okay with this, then let's stop here today. Okay. So we have already covered the basic like theory and the approaches. So now we are going to learn about the project methodologies in the next sessions. So we will now go ahead with the next theoretical part in tomorrow's lecture. Okay. And meanwhile, I would request everyone, please go through these recordings. Now we are about to finish the theoretical part and slowly we are going to start with the system setup like configuration and all. So before that, please try to revise all these topics. See, these are not the one which continuously you have to keep it in your mind. Once you understand it as a concept and even if you are trying to refresh it at the time of interview, definitely it is going to help you out. But once we go for the setup of SAP or configuration, then again these topics are the one which you do not usually look for. So they just left behind, like that it happened. So I would request everyone, specifically those who are not from SAP background and totally new to SAP as a system, for them specifically, please go through the earlier recordings, try to remember and recollect the terminology that we are using related to SAP. Try to understand, and if you still have any problem or any doubt about any concept, just let me know. I will try to clarify. Okay, and then we will continue with the next theoretical part. in tomorrow's session. Okay. So I will stop the recording. I hope no doubt from any one of you. Okay.